According to UNESCO, 1.18 billion affected learners due to COVID-19. It corresponds to 67.7% of the total enrolled learners and 146 countrywide closure with the primary, secondary, universities, all it's like closure. And it's according to the live data or dashboard of UNESCO. So if you want to check on the UNESCO site, I will put it in the show notes. That's what is being impacted due to COVID-19 to our education system, to our kids. What's going to happen with them? Let's listen to the intro.
Welcome to the ACKTEC Talks podcast, where it's all about working on technologies. You will hear the latest tech information, and your host, Kashif Manzoor, brings together product overviews, how-tos, best practices, tips and tricks, and troubleshooting techniques.
Welcome to ACKTEC Talk podcast. This is session number 73, and our topic today is to discuss on the education sector, because we have one speaker with us who is providing a very immersive experience to the education industry. Before we will go and invite our speaker, if you're new to the session, welcome to the ACKTEC Talks podcast. This is a weekly session, weekly podcast with the primary objective to learn and share with each other. It's a sandbox for technology insights, experimentation, and inspiration with the primary objective of learning and sharing. And as we are getting into, I think settling back with the COVID-19, started realizing countries started opening, and the still question is open that what's going to happen with the schools when they're going to open. And this is personally I'm also facing with my two kids, that when they will go back to school, or is they're safe. All those other questions are still going around. And what I realized from last 3 to 4 months, that we need a new experience to get educated. And this is also being, realized by the schools, institutes, universities, and tech companies. I'm also enrolled in MSc Data Science and AI, so I'm doing as a part-time online learning, where I'm learning on the artificial intelligence. So I'm also realizing that what changes need to be done. And similarly, as a father, I'm also facing and experiencing with my kids what they need to learn in a different way. And with the universities, institutes, and companies who are providing these tools and tech, they need to help us to teach our kids in the age of coronavirus or COVID-19. And as we have witnessed from our own experience, some schools were able to train teachers, roll out remote learning quickly. And on the other side, according to UNESCO, there are a number of impacted kids across the world due to university schools shut down is a big number. We need new tools and techniques to help us get educated kids and ourselves. Now, according to the report published by World Bank, the COVID-19 pandemic shocks to education and policy responses. And they have highlighted there are some areas that even due to this one, the student dropout will rise. This is another scenario which we need to look into, that we never thought about that. Okay, schools are closed, but it's going to impact to the other kids. And according to the World Bank report, where they said school closures, economic crisis, and long-term costs. And with the school closures, they categorize into direct education costs and what's going to happen with them. Health and safety impacts, education demand side, education supply side, from learning skills point of view to student nutrition situation. And I'll put it in the show notes. And then even they put together for a long-term cause how it's going to impact each and every one of us. So I think that's a good to learn. And then they three principles they have outlined for us, that how we need to cope, how schools are closed, what we need to do. Then we need to the continuity, how the skills reopen, how do we need to improve the acceleration. And one of that point out of the improving and acceleration is focus on creating a build back better education systems. And this is where I think we're going to talk today, which is our topic for today, to discuss and invite another with us, immersive experience founder, an organization or a tech company founder who has done it and who's supporting a lot of tech companies. And before we'll go, emerging technologies in education are playing a significant role. And this is what is happening now with the COVID-19. It just forced the education sector to, change the learning process for the students. And similarly, the emerging technologies need to enhance the way teachers and students work, teach, and learn. Few examples on the emerging technologies, how they're shaping are augmented reality and simulations, which need to be in place, education technologies based on artificial intelligence. And once the 5G technologies will be available into different countries, then the education sector need to invest on that one. And similarly, another area is adaptive learning, where the students allow them to follow unique learning paths based on their interests and experiences. And the good part out of all these emerging technologies is the learning analytics, where teachers and administrators in the schools, universities, they monitor student behavior and progress. And they can change the course content rather than keeping it as it is. And this is as a student of MSc in artificial intelligence literacy, I'm also observing it, that the contents need to be updated, contents need to be changed based on our experience, where the students are putting together and investing their time to learn. That's some of the insights on the education sector, where what's happening, where the emerging technologies are going to impact these 4 or 5 areas. Now let's go and we will invite our speaker for today. And this new immersive experience solution I came to know during STEP conference 2019, which happened here in Dubai Internet City. And I got to know this organization and I liked it. So at that point of time, and then I approached him, if you want to share your experience as a founder and this is the right time with the COVID-19 where everyone is facing. So let's invite our today's guest. Welcome to ACKTEC Talks podcast. Today we have very special guest with us, Rayvan Ho, the founder of ACKTEC Technologies with us. And we're going to discuss with him his journey, how he has started his startup, what he was doing before that. So let's not wait more and then invite our guest, Rayvan. Hi, Rayvan. Good to meet you. Nice to, during the COVID-19, it's very different time period we are living. Welcome to the ACKTEC Talk podcast.
Thank you, Kasef. I am so honored and privileged to be invited. I came from Singapore, bred and grown in Singapore, studied in Singapore, and am married in Singapore. My kids are Singaporean. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur since the age of 16. When a good friend of mine, she gave me a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. At that time, she told me it was a good book, should continue and see what you like to do in the rest of your life. So it was a blessing in disguise, and I was having a lifetime crisis. My dad was out of job and my mom was the sole breadwinner. So I decided to do something. And I started teaching freelance tuition. And the book taught me one important thing: keep your day job and start something small. But then I started to go into university and I started my first journey. It was enlightening. And then thereafter I left. And I started a business of tutoring, and then I left it with my wife, and I went to the army. And then after that, I came out, and I realized that actually education has always been my passion. It was my passion, has always been my passion. And I realized education can be a lot more immersive, a lot more engaging. And technology can do a lot more in the educational bit. And then I started thinking, how can I automate content? Content should be automated because it is free flow with the use of internet, and as well as the new technology with AI, VR, all that coming in. So as such, I realized that why don't we have a company and call it Automating Content Knowledge for Training, Education, and Commerce. And then we gave birth to ACKTEC.
That's
Yep.
wonderful, wonderful, amazing. So, the rich dad and poor dad changed the life and then went into army and then come back and then started. Now, what actually these ad technologies do, what they provide? And what is the specialty in and why I'm talking about, because as your startup or companies in the right fit with current scenario of COVID-19. So give us context what they actually do from especially learning point of view, and then what are the ideas behind?
ACKTEC was founded on the idea that immersive content should be made a lot more accessible to people. What is immersive content? A lot of people want VR, AR, 3D, 360, but it was not easily accessible. And those contents were loosely fragmented or actually scenario-based, tied to a hardware called the gear that most of us will be familiar, like on Oculus, Magic Leap, and even HoloLens. So all these gadgets are good to have, very fantastic to have, but many a times expensive and not easy to proliferate in any company or even for students. So my founder, my ex-founder and me used to think, if this thing can be easily transmitted through the mobile phones, it will be fantastic. It will be the winning and the most engaging platform that people want to use for all their learning. And as a result, we came up with ACKTEC Learn, which is our product that ACKTEC uses to bring forth content to all the people across the world.
Now, so is it a platform which you provide, or how the mechanism work from a end user point of view? If I'm a student, so what should I do? I mean, what you provide? Do you offer service to the education institutions, universities, or how it benefits me as a student?
As a student, I can benefit you if you come onto my marketplace platform and consume the courses that my client has put on a marketplace for you to take the course through the mobile phone, and then you get a degree or certificate through attending the courses. As a company staff, you can get all this through a simple medium where we work with a company to digitize the content onto our platform.
Okay. So, and why it's with education or immersive experience is linked to the way that you started your some career in tutoring or education. So why this concept came into your mind that, okay, I need to provide learning and development platform? Or
because as a student, I find it very hard to visualize, for example, the parts of a machine book, reading the PDF file, books, and even PowerPoint slides. doesn't really allow me to visualize properly. Somehow, if this can come together in an animation or a simulation that is easily accessible, I think that will be a lot more easier for us. And as a result, we felt the educational, be it the childcare sector, the K-12 sector, or even the adult sector, if such medium is easily accessible, then it will bring a lot more learning and enhancement to steepen the learning curve.
Okay. And how long you been doing it? When you started?
We started 5 years ago
Mm-hmm.
trying to implement into the K-12 syllabus in Singapore, but we were too late because then the Singapore MOE, Ministry of Education, has already decided on a certain platform and a certain way that they want to do. So as a result, we then ventured into the adult sector.
Okay. Now, in last 5 years, what's the one thing you wish that you know before starting this business?
That the differences in learning and cultural adaptation is really very different across the world. And the network technology bandwidth of each countries, though we thought it's the same, it is really, really very, very different. But well, we're still learning, and I think that's the challenge that put forth on our company that we need to solve and help everybody get that immersive across the world.
Right. Now, I'm being a technology podcast, so I want to get into more detail of which technology you are using to develop or provide this platform.
We are a very simple base HTML5. We
Okay.
use HTML5 coding with JavaScript, SQL, backend stack for this whole profile.
Right.
That's our tech stack.
Okay. And this 3D experience, are you using some tool or how are you creating it?
So the 3D experience and the AR are what we have developed in our company to allow us to adapt this form of images and rendering on the mobile phone, which makes the mobile phone a lot more easier to transmit without crashing the mobile phone. Unfortunately, I can't tell you too much because this is our USP in our IP.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. I'm just, did you develop it or did you?
Yeah, we develop it in-house on our company.
Okay. Now, you're not coming from a technical background, right? You are. So
I'm not.
Okay, yeah. So did you hire someone or as an individual, or did you contacted with some consulting company? Who provided you the services or the technical knowledge when you were doing this journey?
You know the Steve Jobs and George Washington story when they founded Apple?
Right.
Yeah. So I have George Washington, who is my ex-founder, who left last year. Yeah. So he founded the platform with our vision of how to make it a lot more animated and immersive.
Right. And with this COVID-19 coronavirus, did you see some spike in your business or because this is what it is required nowadays? So how you dealt last 2-3 months, or is it the business was as it is?
Indeed, the coronavirus did accelerate a lot of business for us. We do see a high uptake in the way online learning is being consumed. A lot of people are also looking at us to develop courses for them. We do see a 30 to 40% increase in our sales. But we also see a challenge. We see that a lot of people are also still shopping. They're not very clear, although they know that the way to go is still online, but they're not very clear how they want to transform. Largely on two ideas. One is buy-in from the higher management, because a lot of them are from a different generation. And the other one is obviously budget. In view of COVID, a lot of budgeting has been cut. Although they recognize that this is the way, again, a lot of people being Asian and being prudent, they are not, they are not, they are looking up, yeah. I will use this word called shopping.
Right. And so you already shared some of the books, primarily, the book Poor Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Any other book in your life which is greatly influenced?
Built to Last by Jim Collins.
Okay.
And Good to Great, also by Jim Collins. Another book I read a lot is Daniel Kim's Emotional Intelligence. These books help to shape the way we think about ourselves. As a founder, it's important to be a bit more focused and more emotional to what things are happening, so that you can manage things and how do you build things that can last. Yeah.
Right. And during last 5 years, has any been a parent failure or a favorite failure which resulted into a successful, a journey or actions after that setback or after that challenge? Have you
Yeah. We almost went bankrupt in 2019, first quarter. But we were lucky. A few people believed in us and gave us the opportunity. And I think that's where we grew. Yeah. And we grew tremendously thereafter. Yeah.
So how you overcome them? I mean, at that point of time, primarily being in a management position. So
a lot of savings come from ourselves.
Right.
And also ability to make sure we profile and manage the cash flow thereafter. Yeah.
Okay. Now, as you know, with a lot of college and university students, which they are embarking a journey that they want to they want to start a business. So there are a lot of incubators and startups, communities are being formed. So what advice would you give to a smart any college student to enter in a real world, or maybe what advice they should ignore?
I think to be a startup, first you must have yourself equipped with the right skill. The right skill, i.e., financial management skill, and emotion quotient skill. Some of these skills can never be acquired if you are straight away starting up. Starting up will allow you to have probably venture and adventure skills, but in my own sense, it's still good to work for people. It's still good to really actually work for people, because some of those things that people can teach you, you can help you shorten. So if you are really adamant on setting up and starting up, you should start it when you think you're ready. And when do you think you're ready is when you are very savvy on those skills that I highlight: management, finance, and self-management in terms of people and self-management, and lastly, financial skills.
Very, very, I think, valid and good, rightly said tips for management, people management, financials management. 100% true.
And yourself.
And yourself.
A lot of founders don't know how to manage themselves. And think that is the most important thing.
That's the most important, right? And what are some bad recommendations you hear? When you from last 5 years, some people are your friends or colleagues. How to ignore them. First, how to recognize them. Those are bad recommendations, and then how to ignore them.
Never think that your product is the best in the world. Never think you have the best product, you have the best team, you have the best set of things that is happening in the world. If you think you're the best, you are bound to lose. Actually, learning is constant. You're never the best. If you think you're the best, probably is you're not learning anymore. There are so many things that throughout my journey, I noted that one should really be humble. One should really understand what other people are doing. How can you better improve yourself? Because you really never know. The other end, somebody can be a lot more stronger than you are.
All right, I agree. And as a founder, what you do when you feel you're unfocused, or maybe you are overwhelmed, or so what are the tips you do yourself so that will help to others?
I like to do one thing. If things that I think I'm very puzzled and very unhappy about, I like to take a walk, put on my earpiece and put on an audio book and walk. If things that I think I can't even solve and I don't really have a solution and it's bothering me, I will go and sleep.
Okay. All right. And for a management point of view, what are your favorite tool which is helping you day to day your job? Any favorite tool which you like most in managing your maybe operation, maybe reporting, or maybe day-to-day work, a to-do list? Any favorite tool or a calendar maybe?
Okay. I use the Google Calendar a lot, but this is just an administrative tool. On my own, I tend to use this grow framework: gaps, reality, opportunity, and weakness.
Oh, okay.
I use this grow framework, which I learned from a course a few years ago, and the hierarchy of needs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. So these are the few L&OD tools that I use to help myself in the day-to-day management. Like, what are the gaps? What is the reality? And what is my opportunity? And what are my weaknesses?
All right. Now I've seen in your website from on your product, which is written as artificial intelligence and machine learning. So, on which level you're using, or how it's helping for the content creation, or is it for the recommendations, or where it is applying?
Two areas. We are now diving into humanized chatbot.
Okay.
Humanized chatbot to bring forth delivery a lot more easier. So we are hoping to feature by 2021 in Dubai on the humanized chatbot.
Okay. So
and the other one is recommendation of courses. When one person goes on our platform to learn that, you recommend the type of courses suitable for the person.
Right. Okay. So chatbot is one of the primary use case. Okay, from that angle, right? And for a reporting or a data analytics point of view, to the learning department, or what you're doing, did you develop your own learning solution? I mean, this reporting solution, are you using somewhere outside?
Yeah, we do for our own data analytics and bring it into our platform by itself. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's the self-developed.
Yeah. And how the business model from a revenue point of view? Is it platform based, or is it user based, or how is it?
We have both platform based, development based, white label, and then we have the SaaS model. SaaS model based.
Okay, and in SaaS, you're using any cloud provider, or
multiple?
Okay.
Multiple. Yeah, we have from Ali Cloud to AWS and Azure. Yeah.
Okay. And this in the SaaS model, again, the pricing is based on
User.
the user.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And from a content, if a school, if I'm running a school and I have my own content, so who's gonna help me to convert these content to be able to be loaded into your platform?
Yes, we will do it.
That's
We'll
your
do it.
service. You're doing it.
Yep.
Okay. And I've seen so many, number of clients on your website. So all they're using for their internal learning as a learning solution, or private education, or maybe.
At the moment, those clients are B2B. Yeah,
Okay.
B2B.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I think looks to me primarily the B2B, and then let them.
We also have a B2C now. Yeah, B2C.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Now coming to the conclusion. So if we'll ask you, final one tip you want to leave to the community or a fresher who want to start a business, what should they be considering or taking care of it as a most important from your point of view?
Think twice. Because if you think that you really want to do it, you're sure you want to do it, no matter what, you have to do it, no matter whether it will affect your money that comes to your family, whether you will give up or not, think twice, think 3 times. And then if you think 3 times and you still want to do it, then just do it. Otherwise, you'll regret it for your whole life. But before you do it, think twice, because it's a very, very painful journey.
Okay, right. Yeah, think twice. That's I think the key for our learners for today. That there's not going to be a rain tomorrow. You need to think what you're gonna do it and what are the objectives you're gonna solve a problem. I agree with you.
You must be prepared to endure.
Right. Thank you so much, Rayvan Ho, for joining us. I think it was a wonderful session. A lot of good tips you have shared as a founder, and what are the tools common you're using, how the technology is enabling. And I think, because why I reached primarily to you, because with the COVID-19, the way we are on remote, even my kid is studying through remote tools, and the challenge which we are facing day by day, that, okay, how the lessons are coming, what they need to learn from teacher. There are a lot of challenges, and I feel that this platform with the 3D, with the machine learning chatbot, will help a lot to the college and university, especially this even for the kindergarten or the small schools.
Yeah, we are working in all the sectors.
All those sectors. Any concluding final remarks?
I really want to thank you so much for the opportunity, and I also think that this shall not be the end. You can keep in touch with me. Anything that we can connect and help, let me know. Yeah, I'm happy to share.
Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. And just to let you know, if you're new to the ACKTEC Talk podcast, this is our session number 7. This session was 72, and we did a number of sessions on digital transformation. And if during the quarantine and COVID-19 time, if you want to learn on the digital transformation, there are 7 courses which are freely available. If you go to otektalks.tv, you will find under the blog menu, and number of sessions are on the almost 30 plus sessions we have covered on digital transformation. Please go and listen and share your experience, your knowledge, with us. And if you want to be the guest on this podcast and you want to share your story, you want to share your technology tips, tools, you're most welcome. And to just announce a disclaimer that all these guests are coming on the show based on some interaction with during conferences or attending, and then I'm approaching them, or attending the startups community where I do some technical insights or advisory sessions. So there's nothing behind it, just the show to share knowledge with each other. Thank you so much for joining the session, and look forward to talk to you.
Thanks for listening to the OTech Talks podcast, and be part of Tech Talks at otechtalks.tv. It's a turf to share ideas, insights, and innovations.